Hello everyone, we are Cleat Sheet. This presentation will be brought to you by Catherine Rusev, Dylan Ignasic, Jack Fishel, Matthew Moe, and myself, Isaac Stelter. In the last spring, during the early months of me and Dylan's baseball season, we often had to play in baseball games that had unfavorable weather conditions, such as rain or snow. Now these conditions would leave the infield dirt of our baseball fields to be extremely muddy. As soon as you would step onto the field, your cleats would instantly cake up with mud on the bottom. Now this was a big issue, considering cleats are there to serve as traction, and as soon as all this mud is on the bottom of them, all the traction is gone. We found that we were not alone in this problem due to surveys we conducted and a statistic that shows 44% of injuries in the MLB and the MILB result from non-contact issues such as running, sliding, tripping, or slipping. Now, if you please direct your attention to this short video that demonstrates how our product works. Now, as the video shows, our product helps to remove the mud in just a few seconds. This is a big upgrade considering the past solutions we had were a little mat on the floor of our dugouts that you would just dig your cleats into, and that really didn't work. And the other solution we had was just a small metal rod that you use to dig inside of your cleats. Now, on average, you only have about 2 minutes in between innings to get yourself off the field, prepare what's next, and get back out there. Cleaning your cleats in between this you're just not able to spend a lot of time to clean your cleats in between innings.
Yeah, so in order to start this business, we need to identify who our customer target is and who we need to sell to. We identified our customer target to be a Midwestern high school baseball player due to 3 main reasons. One, they obviously need to play baseball, but the reason we chose high school baseball players is because anything higher than that tier play on well-kept baseball fields or play on turf, which completely eliminates the mud aspect of our problem. Now, also we chose Midwestern players because this is when there's going to be the most rain and snow during their seasons to make sure that these players will get the most use out of our product because they'll have the most weather conditions that will be suitable for our product. Now, moving on to market sizing. What does this mean for market sizing and how does this affect our market? Well, we estimated, according to Statista, that we have a total addressable market of $2.3 billion, and this comes from the total market for our baseball apparel industry, baseball accessory industry. Now, we also have a serviceable addressable market of $50 million, and this comes from the total amount of high school Midwestern baseball players.
Now, when talking about market, you also need to look at your competitors. Our main competitors are Boot Buddy and the original Cleat Cleaner. Boot Buddy is a product that you put water in, and it's a brush, an attachment brush, and you're supposed to scrape the bottom of your cleat. Now, when looking at price, Boot Buddy wins the battle between the 3 of our products. Cleat Sheet is cheaper as an individual product, but because it's a multiple time buy product, you need to spend more money on it per month. While Boot Buddy ranges from $21 to $25, and the original Cleat Cleaner is $50. Now, when going to effectiveness, we beat Boot Buddy and Cleat Cleaner. This is because when you use our product, you get 99% of the dirt off, which doesn't leave any to dry on the cleat, which ruins your cleats in the future. And when looking at time, we beat the other 2 competitors due to the fact that it only takes a couple seconds, not even, to take the mud off your cleat, while it takes at least a couple minutes, and like we said, it's only 2 minutes in the dugout time, which you should be spending preparing for when you get back out in the field. So this is Boot Buddy. It ranges from $21 to $25. The thing is, they are made for soccer and football cleats, which isn't the same mud and dirt as baseball fields have. Baseball fields have a heavier, thicker clay that dries on your cleat, which can ruin your cleats in the future and during that game. Now, this is the original Cleat Cleaner. This has been used for the past 50 years in MLB and NFL games. In the Super Bowl, this has been the main product that they use to clean their cleats. Although it's been used for many generations, it's not as effective as our product would be. Again, it takes too much time to clean in the dugouts, and you just don't have that time to spare.
Okay, so some of our marketing methods. We plan on using TikTok, GroupMe, and pop-ups. We'll be using TikTok by spending roughly $100 for 10,000 guaranteed views. We'll also be using GroupMe by sending out our landing page to coaches during the spring season, and they'll be able to send it to their GroupMes, and we'll be able to get some real baseball players to our website to be able to view our explainer video. And then we'll also be using pop-ups by setting up at spring and summer baseball tournaments to get some real in-person feedback and also hopefully get some sales. So some of our channels, we'll be using our website as our direct channel, which will obviously have 0% commission rate. We'll be hopefully getting sales after we run our ad campaign. We'll also hope to get into Dick's Sporting Goods, where they take a 5% commission rate on all of our revenue. However, it will be very good for our product as we'll gain lots of popularity from Dick's. And we also hope to use Amazon, as most of our customer base is very active on it. However, we'll be taking a 15% commission rate cut on our product revenue. So we plan on pricing our product at $12.99, and we base this off of 80 interviews conducted in the Chicagoland area since October. Most of our interviews said they would be willing to pay between $10 and $20, so we settled on $12.99 to maximize our customer availability as well as our revenue. Now, our cost of goods sold, the total cost for one pack, which is 14 sheets, is $6.10. That includes the laminate, the adhesive, and the packaging. We found these numbers through Amazon manufacturers and various vendors. The number is not completely accurate, but we hope to iron it down to a more accurate number in the future.
Now, for our MVP, we wanted to test our prototype for the first thing. We want to test 15 prototypes. For each pack, it's 14 sheets, 7 pairs. This is because there are 7 innings, and you need 2 sheets per foot. We want to test the quality and durability, as well as how long they last, how long one pack lasts. We'll be figuring all this information out and getting feedback, qualitative and quantitative feedback through interviews that we'll be scheduling with the players that we give out the prototypes to. As well as the prototype, we'll be testing our value proposition. We'll be doing this by checking our pre-orders, how many people actually want to pay for our product, as well as the website and explainer video. This is our website. We have a QR code if you'd like to scan that to see the rest of our website. On the website, we have our explainer video and our pre-order button, as well as 3 buttons up top to lead you to our social media. The last thing we want to test is our price point. Now, we'll be selling each pack for $12.99, like I said before, 14 sheets per pack, 7 pairs. And we'll be getting feedback, quantitative and qualitative feedback throughout those interviews to see whether people would continue buying it at this price, since it is a multiple time buy product. We want to get that feedback and perfect it as much as we can.
Yeah, so how are we going to be marketing our MVP test? So as well as sending our landing page out to various different teams, coaches, and players through GroupMe, we're also going to be doing free and paid ads on TikTok, like Jack said. And we're also going to be passing out our prototypes to other teams, me and Isaac's teammates, as well as we know the freshman coach, and he has already agreed to pass out our prototypes to his freshman players. So why are we choosing TikTok as our ad campaign? We're using TikTok because they come in relatively cheap compared to other social medias at $10 per 1,000 guaranteed views, and leading us to a 1.6 click-through rate, meaning 1.6 of the people seeing our video will click through to our website. And also our customer segment is primarily on TikTok, and TikTok also has a very good algorithm pushing personalized videos, meaning baseball players will see baseball videos. And so what are our overall goals with this? Our goal is to get at least 10,000 video views through TikTok, leading to 500 website visits through GroupMe and our TikToks. Finally, leading to 10 orders per month. This could be through our product testers, our sending out to GroupMes, or also from our TikTok.
Yeah, so this is just our first year sales. How much sales are we going to do in our first year? And this is everything from April to December. We calculated if we do 10 sales a month at our $12.99 price point, we'll be at around $1,200 for our entire year this year, meaning from April to December. Now, there's obviously going to be a timeline in how we will be able to present and achieve these sales. This is going to be our timeline, and starting with today's presentation, and using it as a baseline. On March 1st, we plan to send our explainer video to, again, coaches, teams, and etc., to get them in the know and explain to them what our product will be like and what for them to expect. Now, we're also going to refine our prototypes that we currently have that you saw in the explainer video from March 1st to March 14th to make sure we have the best product necessary before we send it out to teammates and etc. Also, we then now plan to pass it out on March 14th, as that's when the spring season starts for most baseball players. Therefore, we can get the maximum amount of use from the March season all the way to when the season ends. Then, with all our prototypers and the people we give our prototypes to, we'll be arranging a scheduled meeting date for them and for us to receive feedback on our current product and make sure we have the perfect product necessary for our launch date. Then, from April 1st to April 30th, we'll be implementing that feedback into our product and making a refined product to be able to fulfill our product orders on April 30th, when we'll be collecting orders and data from our website and converting them into real sales. This is our cost breakdown of everything that we are requesting, and it starts off with the website data. Currently, we use Canva, which is a website maker, and they require a $15 per month subscription to view necessary statistics and buy a necessary domain for a website to make sure that we can have the necessary information to understand what customers are looking for and what do they click when they land on our landing page. Also, we're requesting $70 for prototypes, and this is developing again from our March 1st to April 1st to April 14th phase of making our products. Then we're requesting $200 of inventory in order to fulfill our product. In total, we are requesting $400 in total revenue. And we're requesting $400 from you guys in order to fulfill this and achieve our $1,200 in revenue. Thank you so much for listening to us, and we hope you can help us peel stick play away from mud and help players remove mud from their clothes.
Is this a one-size-fit-all kind of product? And then, so just multiple questions. How does it stick so it's not flopping when the person is running and sliding? And then, is it for metal cleats only, or can you use it with molded cleats?
Different cleat patterns.
Right.
Yeah,
How does it
so-
go through the cleats?
So we plan on, for our customers, they would tell us what type of cleat they have, and we would go to Dick's just to get the dimensions at first, eventually hoping to move to being able to know and create them custom to the cleats. But for now, we would do it ourselves, measuring the dimensions for the cleats.
And the sheet will stick on because of adhesive that we're gonna put on one side of the sheet that will stick to the bottom of the cleat. And as Dylan stated, because of the wide variety of different patterns that the spikes have on different cleats, right now it's we're planning on just sheets based on, creating sheets based on the orders that are made. And we also are looking into whether or not you can use it on molded cleats too, and we believe that you will be able to. But that's something we are gonna look further into.
Because if you can't stick it through the actual cleat because of the pattern, a different pattern, then I'm assuming not everyone's going to have the same cleat on the team. You need to think about that.
Okay.
So is the idea that if you get clay or mud on your cleats, you get between innings, you peel it off and then put another one on?
Yeah,
Is necessary?
disposable.
And I think you said you have one prototype. What have you learned so far from the prototype that you have?
Yeah, we've learned that the current thing we use, which is that laminate film, is currently our best shot at making our product due to the fact it's cheap, it's very thin, which a lot of players were expressing doubt of whether it will affect these performance due to how thick it was. So we have the thin sheet that most players were asking for, and it's also pretty usable and flexible, and most importantly, it won't tear during use. So that's what we've narrowed down during materials phase, and was what most players expressed with concern about the product, which we've solved using the laminate film.
So does that feedback come from your testing or from giving it out to some players?
Yeah, so that's from our initial testing and from the feedback after we've used it done.
Do you expect the mud to stick to the laminate and then you remove the whole thing, or the mud not to stick to the laminate because it's extra sticky or slippery?
So the problem that we currently have with the cleats is not so much if it sticks, but it's the fact that it's constantly compounded onto it to make like a hard cakey material, but it's also pretty slick. So that's also why another product doesn't work, is because it's a super slick material, that wet mud, and it differentiates from that soccer mud that you get or that football mud that you would get.
So at the end of the inning, when they take off the laminate, will there be mud on the laminate
Yeah,
that they toss?
Yeah.
One on
Yeah.
them, it would just dispose
It would
of.
peel off with the sheet.
Yeah.
Are you worried about, I mean, have you thought about that you might be compromising the efficacy of the shoe? I mean, Nike and Reebok, I'm sure, are putting millions of dollars in R&D, and the cleat and the safety of, the cleat is more than just the individual spikes. Like, there's contours and grit and grip and stuff on the underside of the shoe, right? But you're just kind of like, nope, we're making this flat and smooth. This might lead to some liabilities if something happens. I don't know if you guys thought that.
Yeah, so since the sheet is really thin and bendable, it will bend along with the cleat.
Okay, so it's like,
It's a flexible.
it's, the whole thing can,
Yeah.
Work with the cleat.
I got it.
And as we go on with our product testing, we'll get feedback from the customers, what they liked, what they didn't like, how it fit, how we can make it better. So we'll definitely be improving along the way.
Okay, so you've identified the substrate material that you're gonna use
Yeah.
already and all that? Okay, next time bring a sample of kind of what that feels like. You
Yeah.
get a better idea.
Could you go back to your numbers, your request page, not the 400, the breakdown for it?
We've given this feedback to a lot of different groups that are developing a new product where they don't actually have the design nailed down or the materials for that matter. And I would say you want to focus every last dollar into developing the product into something that actually achieves the objectives that you're claiming before you go out and try to reach customers. But before you market at scale, I think you've already identified who your target market is. This is about being at the ball field, passing out samples, creating samples right then and there for folks to try and give you feedback between innings or something like that. That I think is going to be the best use of your time as opposed to developing some scaled out marketing strategy.
I think you need to figure out a way to extend the longevity of each pair. $2 per inning is a lot to pay. Look at maybe like a hydrophobic spray to coat your laminates with. Because if you can extend them a couple innings, because the mud and the clay is less likely to stick in the first place, and it's like a once per game use. Now you're thinking about what your cost does to your costs, and how attractive that is to somebody. And they also have like a special secret sauce that's like,
Yeah.
hey, we have technology. It doesn't stick to it in the first place. You know what I mean?
That's
That'd be more
also
attractive.
something we want to test through our prototypes, passing out to other players, is have them tell us how long they would use it per game. So we don't really know if it would be an inning, but we want to be safe so they would have one for a full game.
Well, if it's muddy out, would it even last in it? You'd have to kind of make sure that took
Yeah.
place too, because it might not. So back to Carlos's point, I would suggest you remove the ads activity and take your inventory and push it to prototypes. When you're doing these prototypes, I would strongly suggest that you not prototype anything with anyone that you know.
Yep.
It's got to be neutral parties.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what we said, like give it to Hogs and pass it out to his players as you have it, because we don't have any major contact with them. And then see what their feedback.
But they also know them.
I think the other, speaking more as like an advisor, I would really encourage you to try to figure out a solution that doesn't require customization or significant customization, because that's like the bane of any business where you have to, create a unique solution to each and every customer. I don't know if there's a way to achieve 80% of the benefit with something that just fits in between the cleats, or something so you don't have to worry about what your shoe looks like.
And then every year those cleats change, so what's the lifespan of, do you have the same cleats through the whole, I played baseball growing up, it was a different time though. I think I had one pair of shoes the whole
That
high
lasted
school.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, or more, right? It
Because
wasn't like-
you're growing,
You're
taller.
growing, yeah. So when to stop growing, I think I stopped growing very early. You know, so that was different, but a lot of, you know, they're changing cleats constantly, you know, so then it's like you have to customize at scale. This again goes to like tool and die cutting and special, you know, how many different cleat patterns and all that, so I think about a lot of that. I'm with Carlos on something that's like one size fits all solution.
And I think that baseball players are the only players that have metal cleats, right?
Yeah.
Soccer players don't use metal.
No, they're all-
So you're kind of trapped into this single sport. You can't go down market into like 7 to 10-year-olds playing baseball either, because they don't use metal cleats.
That's why we wanted to look if moldeds would work, because that would expand our customer base by a lot to like softball and younger kids.
Hogs, did Cleat Guard do anything like that
Cleat Guard was after game.
after you post?
So you can walk inside with your cleats in.
Is that still have a pulse?
No. Long time.
There's a company that came out of here that lasted a very long time that put a cover over your shoe afterwards, so you didn't slip.
Yeah.
You're trying to make sure that you don't slip by, while you're playing. I'm a little worried too, guys, about the customization, because you have Nikes, you have Nikes, you have Nikes, you have Nikes. I guess everyone's got Nikes. I don't have Nikes on. You have Adidas. There's just so many different shoes. The bottom of the shoes are so different for each one. Maybe the Nikes all look the same. That'd be helpful, right? And if the Adidas look all the same, that'd be helpful. But I'm just a little worried about how many custom forms, because that's an inventory issue in the long run. Hey, listen, I need I need Adidas size 10 for the 2019 version of
This
the
particular
Paradox shoe.
Yeah.
So now I'm in
Number's
the,
400, guys.
now I'm in the, I've got so many different iterations that becomes challenging.
Hogs, are you saying we need to agree on
Yeah,
what we're
yeah,
going to
you
do to bootstrap?
Hey, you're part of this, Hog, so don't pay attention.
I need a number.
So I would encourage you to not do any ads, to move your inventory to prototypes, and to maybe give yourself more time on the website than 2 months.
So 300,
So 300, I would say.
another month, so
315.
And your timeline needs to adjust too. You guys had 2 weeks allocated for prototyping. You need more than that.
More than that.
Yeah.
350. How about it?
350.
350.
350.
All right, we're going with this.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys. Good job.